with the steal. He leads the 3-on-1 break. It is Jerry Stackhouse who finishes with the huge slam dunk. UNC up big, 22-8. Still in the first, Carolina on the run. Jeff McInnes, the pass to Rasheed Wallace, who gets it back to Donald Williams for the layup. Gary Williams, UNC by 9. But the Terps come back. Joe Smith, the putback jam, off the miss before the half. Then Maryland starts burying the three-point bombs. First, it's Keith Booth. Then Wayne Bristol. The Terps are hopping, but Derek Phelps steals the show. Great anticipation for the steal. He goes coast to coast for the short bank in, and Dean likes that. UNC holds on 95-89. North Carolina has now won 20 games for the 24th consecutive season. The win moves the Tar Heels back into first place tie with Duke in the ACC. 25th ranked Bearcats Jim McElvain swatting Jim Harris's attempt, one of 8 blocks on the night for McElvain. Second half, Cincy by 3. Ronnie Eford all alone on the baseline for the jam. Cincy's lead just 1. Second half, 61-60 Marquette. The Bearcats have a chance to win, but Dontonio Wingfield misses the bank. Curtis Bostic gets the rebound, but he misses. Bob Huggins is going crazy. 61-60 would be the final. Marquette snaps a 5-game losing streak to Cincinnati. Neither team led by more than 6 points in this one. There were 2 ties and 7 lead changes in the final 10 minutes.
Can look good throughout. UCLA, in fact, coming off that upset of the Irish, they were sluggish in this one. Meanwhile, Scott Didrikson drills a 3. He had 17. Huskies up early and up big. But look at this. Jason Tyrus with a nice little layup. He had 16. He was the hero against Arizona. Bob Bender said Huskies, fueled by that win against the Cats, look good against the Bruins. It didn't hold up, though. Up by 3 late. Washington couldn't score for a 4-minute span. Meanwhile, UCLA could. That was George Zidek, who had 17 on the night. 79-76 was the final. Tyus Edney chipped in with 22. Sean Tarver with 20. The big key was the Bruins rally as Washington went stone cold in those final 4 minutes, and they edge upstart Washington. Also from the Pac-10, Arizona State, number 19, Cal. Arizona State up by as much as 20 in the first half. Stephen Smith with a miss. Ron Riley cleans up. Later, down by 20 at one point, the Bears rally. They score 16 straight points. The kid to Randy Duck. And it's 34-19 at that point. Cal comes all the way back, scoring the first 8 points of the second half off the pick. Kidd to Lamont Murray, gives it up to Monty Buckley, who throws it down. Buckley had 25. Cal with that big rally. They trailed, as I said, by as much as 20 in the first half. They come on to win it, so they've now won 6 in a row. It also avenges a loss earlier this season to Arizona State.
Nice defense by UNC early. Derek Phelps the strip on his way to the goal for the slam, and then Phelps again striking as the crowd was into it. The lefty going with the right hand, the reverse. UNC by 7 at the break. Jackets coming back behind the hot shooting of Fred Vinson. He had 8 3-pointers. Ring it up. Game is tied at 50 later in the second half. The big guy, James Forrest. Check out this hook over Eric Montross. He called it bank. Forrest with 25 points, 17 boards, and then Vincent puts it away. In the lane off the inbounds. Good night. Vincent a season high 26. The Jackets out rebounding the much taller Tar Heels 40-29. They can 9 of their 10 free throws in the final minute. Plus the Jackets hit a team record 15 trays. They beat the Heels for the 3rd straight time. The Big 8 bragging rights for the state of Kansas on the line in Manhattan. The Jayhawks turn it over. Damon Davis. Oh yeah, solo jam time, and the crowd was really into it later in the first half. The Wildcats, Darnell Cunningham misses, but he follows it up and then jammed it home. Cats led this one by 2 at the break. Second half, Jayhawks come alive. They get it out on an 18-4 run. Sean Pearson draining the 3 to put KU up by double digits, and then later, the big guy, Greg Ostertag, a little finger touch. Ostertag, the 7-footer, scoring a game-high 16, and KU wins the game 9 as they continue to assert themselves in the Big 8, trying to catch up to Mizzou. Big East leading UConn home to Seton Hall. That's a baby.
Yeah.
And this is Seton Hall, the big man. Arturas Karnisovas, nice looking shot there as Seton Hall built a 5-point halftime lead. Second half, it was all Huskies. Danielle Marshall electrifying the crowd. He should have been in the NBA Slam Dunk Contest. Yeah, got some style points there as UConn begins to pull away. And then the other Marshall, Donnie, up for 2. He drew the foul. UConn takes a big lead, and they run past the Hall. It was Danielle Marshall's 26, leading the way. The Huskies now have a huge 3-game lead in the Big East Conference.
Fine to do it. Purdue head coach Gene Cady and the Boilermakers got into a huge hole early, and that was some evidence of that. First half in transition, Quentin Brooks finishing the big slam. The Spartans held a 15-4 lead. Now Respert, the behind-the-back move, the layup for 2. The Spartans were in command. But the Boilermakers came back. Quanzo Martin keeping Purdue in the game. The pull-up jumper is good. And then the man took over. Glenn Robinson putting it in the air, the 3-point swish, and then taking it strong to the hole, off the glass for another 2. And Cady's guys pull it out. Final there, 74-70. Glenn Robinson scored 11 of his 23 in the final 9 minutes. The win is the Boilermakers' 700th in the Big Ten and 2,000th game in school history. Elsewhere, a close call for the Hoosiers in Bloomington. Here's a familiar sight, an irate Bobby Knight. Second half, Brian Evans misses the 3. James Winters rebounds, takes it the other way, gives it to Kenyon Murray. There's the jam, 65-60 Iowa. A rare sight of a still Bobby Knight. 38 seconds left, Iowa by 1. Todd Leary driving, dishes to Todd Lindemann, who gets it to drop, and the Hoosier bench comes alive as they gain the lead by 1. The Hoosiers by 2. Chris Kingsbury gets the ball on the wing and throws up the jumper for the tie, but it goes off the rim, and the Hoosiers escape with a 2-point victory. Damon Bailey leading the way, 33 points, as the Hoosiers win their 41st straight at home. Iowa was the last team to beat Indiana at home 3 years ago. Tom?
We take you to the Carrier Dome. Syracuse and Kentucky in a matchup of top 15 teams. Lawrence Moten, they threw it right to him, and he races to the other end for 2 points. The Orangemen up 5. Rick Pitino's team could not stop this guy. Adrian Autry putting it away with a layup and the foul. Autry with 30 points as Syracuse wins by 8. The Hogs running with the Gators in the SEC. In Fayetteville, Razorbacks defense tough here. Corey Beck, the loose ball, gives it up to Corliss Williamson, wrapped it around, patiently hit the jumper, and Lon Kruger and company would suffer a defeat. In Fayetteville, this is Scotty Thurman, the leaner in the lane. Arkansas wins the game on their home court by a dozen.
Next stop, Pauley Pavilion, number 7, UCLA hosting Washington State. A physical game. Kevin Dempsey, the bloody nose. Second half, UCLA pulls away. Tyus Edney down low to Sean Tarver. Lays it in all kinds of traffic. Then it's Edney assisting again, working the give and go to perfection with Dollar, and UCLA wins by 10, 76-66. Louisville hosting Tulane. Second half, off the miss, Clifford Rozier hitting Greg Miner, who slams for the easy 2. Cards by 9. 5 seconds left. Tulane down by 3. Watch Pointer Williams throw the pass away, and with it,
2. Now Nimbo Hammonds has it, and he goes coast to coast. Xavier would miss 2 free throws, so we go to overtime. Pete Gillen in the huddle. All right, here's what I want you to do. So Xavier gets it on the baseline with a chance to win. Pete Sears gets it blocked. We go to a second overtime. Mike Jarvis says, I got a second life. Xavier down 3. Jeff Massey, 4-3. Make it 4. He gets the free throw. GW down 1. 5 seconds left. You got to play tight D on him. Don't let him get the easy shot. And they did. That was Vaughn Jones, the game winner. Mike Jarvis smiles. The second life paid off. Jones had been 1 of 10 before he hit the game winner. Hey, Pete Gillen put it properly, saying, Jones made a tough shot, but we didn't get enough help. We should have had hands